I know you need to keep telling yourself that I'm the fool to cling to your lie. But I realize people don't tell you stuff to your face. But it's not me that they say my father has Stockholm Syndrome because of.
I beg your pardon? What are you saying now?
It's not me that people say my father has Stockholm Syndrome because of.
Because of what? What are you saying? Who says your father's got Stockholm Syndrome? Like, what are you saying?
The people that know that kind of stuff are saying it.
I know that kind of stuff, Ty. And what are you?
What is Stockholm Syndrome?
Under the control of somebody. It's not. You don't realize it, but you're under the control of somebody. What are you saying? What are you saying, Ty? God, I love you. Where did you come up with your things? Whose Stockholm Syndrome is your dad under, Ty?
Well, Stockholm Syndrome would be named after the person of Stockholm that identified it.
I know, and who was the first person that it was identified by, Ty? Who was the second
What's that got to do with the topic at hand?
Well, I'm asking you, like, who...
You're trying to change the subject again, Donald?
No.
Yes, you are, Donald.
I'm asking you where it came from. Where did it first start? Stockholm Syndrome.
It first was identified where it got its label when the person identified it as being called Stockholm Syndrome.
And then who was the second person that was labeled under the influence of by the Stockholm Syndrome? Who was it?
According to my knowledge, It would be my father.
What are you talking about? Now tell me, if you know so much about the Stockholm Syndrome, how does your father affected by the Stockholm Syndrome?
The same way anybody else would be affected by the Stockholm Syndrome.
How?
You don't tell a person the truth. You just give the abuser the reinforcement and backing that they desire.
I beg your pardon. So who's the abuser, Ty?
It's about time you asked that question.
Yeah. Who is it, Ty? And
apparently it's not me and it's not my father, so who does that leave?
Okay.
Oh, it must be the dogs.
No, so here's the thing.
Here comes Donald. Donald doesn't want to agree with the truth, so Donald wants to argue with the truth.
These are. I agree with the fact that you do these thinkings, and that you come up with these solutions for your own self, Ty. But
so it was me in grade 8 that made me agree to my grade 8 teacher's lies before I could leave the office.
Ty, you blame everything on me, but you know what? When you didn't.
Guess what? You're responsible for what you're responsible for. I'm responsible what I'm responsible for. Except guess who denies it and who tries to fight it?
No, well, I fight it if you will, Ty. I fight if I'm innocent.
No, you fight it all the time. You don't admit when you're at fault ever. You've never admitted when you're at fault.
But you know what? Like,
I've told you every time you said that. I know what very well.
You didn't want to take any control by the counselors when you were at Pine Tree. You didn't want to take any control by the teachers. You didn't want to take any control by your hockey coach. You didn't want to take any control ever in your life. Anybody that had a little bit of control of you, you don't like a doctor having that control of your body. You don't like a dentist having that control of your mouth. You don't like anybody.
Why would that be?
I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't have
Well, guess who would have spoken to them beforehand and would have influenced them beforehand? Donald?
That's a bunch of bullshit. I never went to your hockey coach. I never went near your hockey coach. Bunch of bullshit.
Guess who was already there, Donald, influencing them under your supervision?
I don't even have a damn clue.
Exactly. It's okay. You know how many people that I have telling me that I'm right?
Stop. Who are they, Ty?
They're the people that are telling me that I'm right.
Give me a name.
Why?
Give me a name of one person.
Why?
Well, I'd just like to know, like, Is there an encore? Is there an encore?
Obviously.
Go and get some clean clothes on, for God's sakes.
But then you wouldn't have anything to mess off about, Donald.
Well, just clean yourself up. Jeez.
Why don't you go clean yourself up?
I will go clean myself up.
Do you think it'll do any good?
Clean yourself
Can you
up.
stick the vacuum on one side of your head and stuck it to your ear and see if that cleans out your brain?
Maybe that's what the problem is, that you just don't know the difference between comedy and reality.
Since when have you ever known reality? You still live in your own fantasy world.
Oh, Ty, come on. Come on. What is wrong with you? What's wrong with you, Ty?
I had a mother like you my whole life. My whole life.
Oh, my God. It's like you had a mother like me. If you only knew the people that said that they wish they had a mother like me.
No, I only had a mother like you half the time. When you wanted to be moody or abusive.
Yeah, well, you should hear the people that say they wish they would have had a mother like me. Holy.
They fall for your phoniness.
Yeah.
But go call Rhonda. She's desperate for losers.
Well, now you're being really ignorant. You're calling me a loser. You are really going for the pits, aren't you? Calling me a loser. Holy. Yeah.
You are what you are. You can't change the truth. You can only lie about it.
People that live in glass houses need to.
Guess what? You've been throwing stones your whole life and you never realized it.
You're playing too ignorant now. You can respond to. You're just too ignorant.
How often did Rhonda call you? How often did Daryl call you?
You're too ignorant now to respond.
How often did Rhonda call you? How often did Daryl call you? Notice there's no answer, Donald? How often does anybody else call them? Now, on the other hand, how often does anybody else talk to me? Now look where the fingers are pointing.